What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of The Breakdown. So, the title of this video is Tom Brady the best ever? I'm going to give you my thoughts on that question. It's a lot of times it's, you almost never want to categorize anybody or place anybody in any certain position until their career is over. But sometimes people that have played for a long time, you can kind of go ahead and do that. Like Tim Duncan. Let's take Tim Duncan, for example. No matter what happens with Tim Duncan, whether he never wins another title again, his legacy in NBA history is cemented. So they've already established Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time. Doesn't matter what happens from here on out. I mean, he can average 5 points a game going the rest of the season, and he'll still be the greatest power forward of all time. But let's get to it. So is Tom Brady the best quarterback of all time? And my answer is yes. My answer is yes. Let me tell you why. Okay. I really don't have to hit you with the 4 Super Bowls. He joins only Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw to have 4 Super Bowls. Now, Joe Montana was 4-0 in Super Bowls, and I'm not exactly sure what Terry Bradshaw's record was in Super Bowls, but he does have 4 of them. So those are the only 3 quarterbacks that have 4 Super Bowls. But let's go deeper than that, because a lot of people today, you got Stephen A. Smith saying Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, which he is. I mean, he's good. He's a good quarterback too. Peyton Manning's good. Russell Wilson's good. Romo's good. But Tom Brady is the best quarterback ever. And like I said, let me dig into that. Okay, first of all, let's go with Aaron Rodgers, because you got a lot of people across the country that say Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL. And when I hear that, especially after what Tom Brady did last night, you have to say, how can he be? How can Aaron Rodgers be the best quarterback in the NFL? How can he be? Okay. Well, Brady, he's played longer than Aaron Rodgers. So, I would expect him to have more Super Bowls, 4-1. Okay. But how can Aaron Rodgers be better than Brady? And the answer is he's not. Okay. Against the exact same defenses, Aaron Rodgers, I believe, was 19 out of 34 against the Seahawks for like 178 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and he played most of the game with the lead. Tom Brady, on the other hand, was 37 out of 50, so that's 74% completion rating, I believe. 352 yards passing, 4 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. Okay, so they both have 2 interceptions, but Tom Brady, 4 touchdown passes. Okay, Tom Brady brought his team back in the 4th quarter, They was down by 10 points, scored 14 unanswered points within the last 8 minutes to go in the quarter. So if you remember, I believe there was a series in the 4th quarter where they went 3 and out. And got the defense went out there, did what they had to do. Tom Brady brought his team back against probably one of the best defenses we've seen. I don't want to hear this stuff about the Seahawks defense isn't as good as we thought they were. Yes, it is, because no other quarterback, including Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers had a chance. He had a chance to play the Seahawks twice this season. So Aaron Rodgers didn't do it. Drew Brees last year, he didn't do it. None of these quarterbacks have put up numbers like this against the Legion of Boom. Probably the greatest secondary that we've seen in the NFL. You name me another team, not a few players, not an Ed Reed, not a Deion Sanders, another team that had a secondary across the board from cornerback to safety, and maybe the 5th cornerback. Name me another team that has a Maxwell, a Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, across the board. That is the best secondary that we've seen. Okay? I don't want to hear this stuff about they were injured, Earl Thomas was injured. Well, guess what? They were injured versus Aaron Rodgers in probably even worse because the injury had just happened. Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas were injured against Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers threw 2 interceptions, 19 for 34 passing, and 178 yards. So how can he be better than Brady when Brady just went up against the exact same competition? Those guys that were injured versus Rodgers that was more injured. I mean, Sherman couldn't even bend his elbow all the way out, so he had time to rest. And then Brady goes out there, nickels and dimes them up the field the entire game. Not just at the end, but the entire game. Name me another quarterback that when Seattle was up by 10 points, or when Seattle was up by 10 points, or up by 7 points, or up by 10 points in the fourth quarter, that has been able to bring their team back the way that Tom Brady did against the greatest secondary the NFL has probably seen and one of the best defenses the NFL has seen. In the last 15 years, there's only maybe 2 defenses that you can say were better than the Seahawks, and that would be the 2000 Ravens and the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's it. Those are the only teams that you could say probably had as good a defense as the Seattle Seahawks. Keep in mind, in the fourth quarter, there was a 3rd and 13 or 3rd and 14, and Brady converted once again. Stepped up in the pocket, hit Danny Amendola in tight coverage. So as far as all the quarterbacks today, there's no comparison. There is no arguing. Tom Brady has all those guys beat. Now, a lot of people are going to say Joe Montana never threw an interception in a Super Bowl, 4-0 in a Super Bowl. That's great. That's great. But Joe Montana, he played with Jerry Rice. He played with all these Hall of Famers. What Hall of Famers is Tom Brady playing with? I mean, he has a Hall of Fame coach, but so did Joe Montana, Bill Walsh, George Seifert. Both of those guys are Hall of Fame coaches. So we're even on that end of it. I don't see Tom Brady playing with Jerry Rice. Joe Montana played with a bunch of Hall of Famers, and I'm not taking anything away from Joe Montana. Keep in mind, I'm a 49ers fan, hardcore 49ers fan at that. I love Joe Montana, love Steve Young, love Jerry Rice, love Bill Walsh, love George Seifert. Anybody that's contributed to the Niners, hey, I like them. But Tom Brady, let's face it, Tom Brady is better than Joe Montana. Yeah, he's lost 2 Super Bowls, but guess what? Tom Brady, and you can say that Tom Brady shouldn't have won last night had the Seahawks called the right play. I'll give you that. But Tom Brady did what he had to do to give his team a chance. He doesn't play defense. Tom Brady has nothing to do with the defense. All I know is he did what he had to do to give his team a chance to win. Let's go back to the 2007 Super Bowl when they played the Giants. Yeah, the Giants played some good defense that game, and they held the Patriots way underneath their season average. But with about 2 minutes, or a little less than 2 minutes, or about 2 minutes to go in that game, Tom Brady once again he stepped up and he did what he had to do. He gave his team a chance in that 2007 Super Bowl, and I think if it wasn't for David Tyree having glue onto his helmet, then the Patriots win. But, I'm not taking nothing away from the Giants. The Giants played the game. They came out. They won the game. They earned it. But all I'm saying is, if you even look at that game, Tom Brady, he gave his team a chance to win. He stepped up when it mattered most, and he gave his team a chance to win. And if you look at the other Super Bowl, in 2011, when they played the same Giants again, he gave his team a chance to win yet again. But Eli Manning made a great throw to Mario Manningham, who was well covered, but he somehow came down with it. And once again, the New York Giants scored with not enough time left for Tom Brady to really do anything. So at the end of the day, Tom Brady, in all the Super Bowls, he's done what he's had to do to get his team the victory. What the other team does to his defense, he has nothing to do with that. So, very easily, if not for David Tyree and, Eli Manning throwing a great pass and a great catch that was well covered, by Mario Manningham, Tom Brady has 6 Super Bowls right now. But, very easily it could go the other way. But it didn't. It is what it is. He has 4. He's 4-2. He's 4-2. And at the end of the day, he's the best. He's the best. I mean, I don't know if there's another quarterback out there that rises to the occasion each and every time. That's like, if you want to compare basketball, that's like LeBron James doing what he's got to do, but then the other team just launches up something from half court and hits a 3-pointer and beats him by 1 point. Or there was like less than a second to go on the clock, and he didn't have enough time to really, get his own shot back up. But Tom Brady is the best. So I don't want to hear this stuff about Aaron Rodgers. I used to be on Peyton Manning and say Peyton Manning was the best. But after the way Peyton Manning played against the Colts, can't say Peyton Manning is the best anymore, especially after what Tom Brady did. Peyton Manning didn't put up numbers like that versus the Seahawks. Not in last year's Super Bowl, not this season. He didn't do it. So the Seahawks have one of the best defenses, one of the top 3 defenses the last 15 years, probably the best secondary that football NFL has seen. And Tom Brady pretty much went out there and did what he normally does. I mean, they picked him off twice. That's why they're good. But Tom Brady made the plays when he had to. In the fourth quarter, was 13 out of 15 passing and 2 touchdowns, and I believe like 124 yards. Stepped up when it mattered the most versus the best secondary, one of the best defenses, a defense that when they got you beat like that, they don't let you come back. And only Tom Brady, he's the only one that could have pulled that off. And that's why he's the best overall. But give me y'all's opinion. Is Tom Brady the best of all time? And if not, who do you think is? I'm out.